Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Minnesota Camper. I believe this is episode 19, and we're doing a live Q&A on our YouTube and Facebook page tonight. And we are doing it with our service manager in Fridley, JP. And we're going to answer your questions about anything, really. Obviously, his focus is going to be service. If there's anything you want to know in regarding the world of camping, we certainly would entertain that. And feel free to type in your questions. We'll try to get to you as soon as we can. We do have a list of questions previously submitted, though, so we'll have no problem getting to JP for some questions. And he joins us right now. Hi, JP.
Hello, how are you?
Great, man. I think, as with every one of our episodes, we're going to start out with a guitar solo. So
maybe not tonight.
No, not tonight. Not tonight. Don't want to wake the kids. All right, sounds good.
I might string the banjo there, but we'll see
there
later.
You go. You ready for some questions? Let's bring it. It is. I mean, first day of spring as we come to you live here today.
That's right.
Definitely,
camping season is around the corner.
Well, I'll ask you a kind of an off-the-cuff question here to start out. Like, how busy are you right now?
So right now we got a pretty heavy flow of appointments that are coming up. We are definitely seeing that niche of spring, and people are asking a lot of questions, and they are getting anxious to get out. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Let's get right to the questions. Let's see here. Question number one. We got a load of them here, so I hope you're ready. What do I need to check before I go on my first trip this season? That's a pretty popular one this time of year.
Yeah, I would say, the first thing that I would check is, getting your RV, opening it up for the first time in the year and just seeing if, a critter maybe got in there, or just, checking your battery, checking overall, just a quick inspection of everything before you, go ahead and turn your fridge on or your AC, and just a visual inspection, which we offer this great package, our spring tune-up package.
Yeah, we do offer. Yeah. You can talk about that. That's okay. We do offer a spring package if you don't want to do it yourself.
That is correct. So I'm assuming we're going to be talking about that later. But yes, we have different spring package that you can choose from, and it's a great way to start the year. If you're not sure what to look for, you bring it to Hilltop Camper and RV, and we'll take care of that for you.
Of course, located in Alexandria, Brainerd, Fridley, and Rochester as well. So you can go to any of those locations. Let's bring it up to our next question. Are Chinese made tires as bad as I read about? Thank you for that question.
Yeah, I mean, I see we've done a lot of tires over the year. Life expectancy on a Chinese tires, you could call that, definitely a lot less than you would get, for example, the Goodyear Endurance that is very popular on campers, especially the Jayco products. It's been a very strong, durable tire, and they are really meant to withstand the climate that we live in. Long road trips, they just hold up a lot better, especially at highway speed. I get a lot less tire blowout claims on them versus like a Chinese or an off-brand tire. So I definitely recommend the Goodyear Endurance tire.
The brand that I'm wearing right here, Jayco, they used to be known for having the Goodyear tires on everything that they did. They've scaled back a little bit. The positive side of that is they've really been able to get people into some quality Jayco products at a smaller cost. But with that smaller cost comes the Chinese made tires, right? They're not the Goodyear Endurance tires, right? So anyway, I've seen some customers that they love the Jayco product and they're like, I don't love those tires. I'm going to go ahead and pay the extra and get the Goodyear Endurance tires. On a small travel trailer, the 170BH, for instance, that we have, it's just $13,995. You add a couple of Goodyear Endurance tires on there, what kind of money are you looking at?
Yeah, on a single axle, I would say you'd be running, right around $350, $400 for, a set of Goodyear Endurance tires.
Plus the labor. So just over $500, $600 maybe?
Yeah, I'd say $400 mounted and balanced for everything.
Oh, okay. Very good. Next question. I want to bring my camper in, but I want it by the fall. What do I need to do? I think this is a shot at how long it maybe takes to have your camper in the shop sometimes. Do we face the similar issues?
Yeah, I mean the great thing about Hilltop is we have a lot of technicians. We have invested in our shop or environment to not only get more than one camper in at a time. Um, for example, at our Fridley location, we have 19 bays, and we also have 11 technicians. Each of those technicians, they have two campers that they can be working at a time. So our goal is to get you in and looked at and diagnosed as soon as possible. And obviously, there's the factor we can't control, which is ordering parts, which may take a week, 2 weeks. But for the most part, if you're in for routine maintenance, we can get you done in our busy season. Turn around in about 4 to 5 days. I would say it's
Yeah,
yeah,
from what I've seen, if the parts are available, oftentimes those parts come in pretty quickly, right? And
very
sometimes we have
quick.
to
And
wait for the part to become available. But if you don't have to wait for the part to come available, I mean, a lot of times we'll see it next day, right?
correct, and also a great benefit about our location is that our parts department is really big,
Yeah, that's true.
and we do carry a lot of inventory in our parts, which I feel separates us from our competitors. But we have a great parts department, all four locations, and our service department at all four locations is wonderful.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as a guy who spent a past life working at the same location you did, and that past life being not too long ago, I can back you up on that. I mean, it is important. We're that is a priority to get people out as fast as you
Yes, and
can, and a quality job, of course. But we want you to be camping. That's the whole point, right?
that's the whole point. The
Yeah.
last thing we want is to take your fun away, because we understand that this is, it's an investment, it's a toy, it's something to go out and have fun with it. And the last thing that I want to do is take that fun away from you or prevent you from going on a camping trip. So our goal is to turn you around and get you done and out the door.
Let's go to
So
question number 4. Is maintenance on my motorhome engine just like buying a car? So do you have to maintain an engine on an RV, on a motorhome, the same way you do if you were to buy a Ford off the Ford lot?
yeah, I mean, just like a car, you have your oil change and you have fluid. Thing is you drive your car every day. Motorhome during the winter, if you choose to not go out of town as a snowbird, you do park it. So your routine oil changes, uh, really important to do, and just inspecting that you don't have rodents that got into your air filter, or just checking belts, hoses. So that is something that we can do for you as well at our Hilltop locations.
Yeah, something
So
important to know too, though. If you do have a motorhome, not all the work on the motorhome can or will be done at your RV dealer, right?
that's correct. So we're mainly focused on the RV side of things, but we do offer at the Fridley store oil changes on the gas engine. We'll do a few Class C diesel, but our shop is not set up for heavy duty repairs like motorhome brakes or suspension work. So we mainly focus on the RV side of things.
Good. JP is the service manager at Hilltop in Fridley, and he joins us here for a live Q&A tonight on this Thursday night. Always fun to do these. We appreciate your time here, JP. We got more questions for you. Here we go. When I seal my roof, what am I actually looking for? So we hear a lot about sealing your roof and how important it is. And if I may speak for just a second, as maybe not the expert, but I'll throw in something I've heard from experts is that RVs are all built differently. Some brands are better than others. We worry about leaks, of course, with RVs, and the brand really matters there. But what also is extremely important in terms of, if you don't want leaks in your RV, it is on you to make sure that that the roof is sealed. And so, as somebody who might be coming in, first time camper, doesn't know what that even means. What are we looking for? What are we doing there? And how often do we need to do it?
Yeah, so I've seen a lot of roof come through. Some are really good and some are really bad. Um, so kind of a rule in Minnesota, like I've said it in the past, in the last video that we set in, but Minnesota, I like to call it an extreme state for weather. We have there are four seasons that vary so much in temperature change that it affects your roof seals. Um, so your roof sealant can crack, it can void, it can start to peel. Maintaining the rubber roof itself, the keeping it clean. The last thing you want is water to start to penetrate the roof, and then once it's in, it's almost impossible to get out. It's the enemy of an RV is water. Really,
Right.
I mean, the last thing that's what will take out your RV is water. Unfortunately, that's how it is. But maintaining, going up there at each season, inspecting your roof, I would say you would be fine, but definitely inspect it closely.
Okay.
So,
How do I know if, well, this goes along right along with that. How do I know if I have a walkable roof? Not all these are walkable roofs.
yeah, for the majority, a lot of them are walkable. As far as knowing some brands, I would say the really small fiberglass ones, I would say maybe veer away from trying to climb up on there. But you can also use a ladder and just climb up and just do a visual inspection of everything. Or if you flat out don't want to do it, hey, just swing it by Hilltop and we'll take a quick look at it. Um, and it's just an easy process. But the majority of the RVs are meant for someone to be on and inspect. So they do, especially the Jayco, they have a pretty strong roof.
I was gonna say
So
Jayco and Starcraft on our lot for sure, with that Magnum Truss roof, strongest roof in the industry. I can say
yep,
that Intech on our lot, that is not a walkable roof, with the exception of the Forge. The Flyer Forge is a walkable roof. Everything else is not a walkable roof if you've got an Intech. So,
that is correct. That
yep,
is
be
correct.
aware of that. All right, moving along here as we continue with our questions. Just a few more for you.
Sure.
How can I tell how old my tires are? We were talking about tires earlier. And how often should I change them on the fifth wheel?
Yeah. So
Really?
tires, the each tire will come with a manufacturer date. You have a set of numbers. One is the week, and one is the year that the tire was made. Um, and they're located on your sidewall, and obviously you'd have to take a gander and take a look at where that number is. But generally, on the fifth wheel, um, I would say between 4 to 5 years. If you're doing a lot of traveling, I would start to question or think about replacing them. And if you're not sure, obviously that's a service that we offer that we can swing on by and we'll inspect it outside. We don't have to pull it in to have it looked at, but we can just take a quick look at and tell you if you're roadworthy or not. Um, the last thing you want to end up is on the side of the road with a tire blowout because that causes a lot of damage, John.
Yeah, for sure. And that is something that I probably learned from you in our lot. I had no idea where to look for that age of the tire, but and for those that, and he described, it's a 4-digit number. It's not often very, it doesn't have flashing lights around it by any stretch. It is hard to find in a lot of cases.
It is hard to find.
And it is literally just four numbers next to each other. But if you see
Correct.
four little numbers about an inch wide, that's going to be the number that JP's talking to you about. Okay, cool. Let's see what's next. What are the best brands? I'll put you on the spot here, JP. What are the best brands to look for in a used camper? You've seen everything come through your shop. We carry some great brands. I know. I'll just get the obvious part out of the way. At Hilltop, we're proud of the brands that we carry. Jayco, Starcraft. These are brands that we not only believe in are really cool, but obviously they're good quality. But we're free to speak here. I mean, there's some other brands out there that you, I'll leave you to speak about it. Are there other brands that are really you think you have respect for? And can you also speak to the point that no matter what brand you get, you're probably going to see that shop at some point. Let's be honest.
I don't particularly have a brand that is specifically, if I was in the market to buy used, for example, um, I've had what I have seen is, and I'm not just saying because we work with a lot of Jayco, we're a Jayco dealer, but I have seen a lot of the Jaycos that have been, 10 plus years old holding up versus, for example, a Keystone product or what's the Forest River. Um, I just had better luck seeing Jayco's come through. Obviously, you have the novelty ones like the Airstreams. There's attachments to the Airstreams. The last dealership that I've worked at, we've seen a lot of used Airstreams where people are just extremely attached to them.
Mm.
But um, that's a tough one, John. I really don't have a favorite one, but I'm a Jayco loyal customer. I
Yeah.
would say that if I had to buy one, I would buy a Jayco.
Well, and to get back to what I was talking about with, so this is what I would tell every customer, and I've probably said it here on a bunch of the videos that I've done, because I'll continue to say it because it's the truth, is that there are better built campers than others, like any business, like you would find in cars, like you would find in houses. However, they are all man-made, so you can expect almost. And again, feel free to correct me, JP. You are the true expert on this, but especially at the beginning of with a new camper, those are the times you're going to find some things that you're maybe going to need to fix. Doesn't mean the roof is going to collapse on you, but it might be a little thing here, a little thing there, and that's why the warranty is so important. And that's where
Yes.
I'm wearing this brand. This brand's got the best warranty in the business, a 2-year limited warranty. Do I
Yeah,
speak
and
truth?
yes.
Yeah.
um, one big factor I guess I forgot to mention is you can tell just like buying a used vehicle, as this vehicle or RV have been taken care of, and a lot of them you could see just by walking up to them
Sure.
is is the roof still white and clean and scrubbed, is the siding or the fiberglass like has that shine, and you could tell whether it's a Forest River or whatever or a Jayco, you can just tell that the previous owner took good care of it, and if they've taken good care of it, you continue to do the maintenance on them. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to run into major issues. It just you just got to know what to look for on on an RV. So is the sealant looking good, or has been replaced or resealed? Just things like that. Is it all banged up and it's been rubbed against tree
Yep.
branches, or you just kind of look for the things that matter. And to me, things that matter is looking at the maintenance of a used RV, but just by walking up to it, you can tell.
Yeah, I'm really glad you
So
brought that up, and because it brings it full circle. A lot of that responsibility is on you, the customer.
yeah,
It's yours. You're the one that sees it every day. Great,
yeah.
great point. Thanks, JP, for bringing that up. Next question. If I buy from a private party, can I still have a dealer take a look at it?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
In fact, I encourage you to have, obviously you may be in the market to buy a unit or a floor plan that or a Hilltop location can't carry, but you still want to maintain business with us. And I absolutely, all four location will welcome you in a heartbeat. Um, whatever concern you have on it, we have our spring package that will do kind of a general overlook of your whole entire camper and let you know if you made a good buy or not.
yeah. Can you expand that? We've alluded to that spring package just a little bit here. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so our spring tune-up package mainly focuses on the major functionality of your RV. So obviously you're going to have a water system, an electrical system, the propane system. Just like at home, you have appliances, and those appliances run on different functions, like 12-volt gas, um, and then some of them will have stabilizer jacks, so you'll have hydraulic jacks, electric jacks. So we focus on those items, and like mentioned before, we don't do a lot of engine work, but we will look, the oil or belts and fluids, make sure those are sound. Even the pop-ups are still in business. We do a lot of pop-up repairs, so we'll check for lift system issues or just overall your roof maintenance. Make sure your pop-up is in popping like it should. I like to say, and a lot of the RVs now are coming with more than one slide, and we inspect those slides just to make sure that they're not going to fail on you. So
If you are looking for a pop-up, by the way, we do have a few on our lot. Beginning of the season is when they tend to go. So if you're thinking about a pop-up now, I'd say go check them out and go grab them. The thing I'm always amazed, and we don't carry new pop-ups, by the way. The manufacturers that we carry do not do new pop-ups. So we don't carry new pop-ups, only use pop-ups, pre-owned pop-ups. Um, but the thing about the pop-ups, JP, I don't know what it is about the pop-up customer, but we see some old pop-ups in really good shape.
We do. We have actually quite a bit of them that come in, and they're 1995 and 2000s, or we have a 92. And some of these campers, they were handing down from their grandpas, and they're just keeping it alive. They have a lot of sentimental attachment to it, and they store it inside their garage. So when they pull them out in the spring, the thing still looks like it's right off the show floor. And you people are just attached to them. It's a niche. It's um, they're simple, and they're very easy to have that feeling of sleeping in a tent, but you're off the ground. You're got the amenities of having your stove and a couple different beds and bench,
Yeah, I don't love
and
popping
they're
them up.
very light to tow.
I don't love popping them up, but once they're popped up, they're popped up. You're there for the weekend, and it's shocking how much space there are in those things. I don't know.
It's
That ends
quite a
my
bit of
commercial.
space.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of space
Quite a
for
bit of space.
just small travel package, big space once you open that thing up, and that's the end of my commercial for pop-ups. All right, final question, and if you haven't figured it out, JP is Canadian. We like to make reference to that. So the final question is: do Canadians even know what March Madness is? Is it a big deal? It's not a big deal in Canada, is it?
I wouldn't say I've looked into it as a topic.
Hockey time, right? This is the hockey time, I suppose, right?
Correct.
Correct. All right.
Also, we're getting into maple syrup time.
Okay, very good. All right, very good. Stand
That's
corrected.
a madness. You got to hurry up and collect the sap.
Forget the basketball. Forget the basketball. JP, great job, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, John.
And he does a great job. He's wonderful to work with. I know when we posted that JP was going to be with us tonight, we had one of our customers say he's great and great to work with. And yeah, we encourage you to go check out those reviews on Hilltop Camper and RV. You'll be shocked. I'm going to tell you the most shocking thing you'll ever hear. You're gonna if you go check out some online reviews of our service department or our sales department or any of our departments, you might see somebody say something negative. Yeah, on the internet, believe it or not. No, but the thing about it is the vast majority are saying really, really good things because of that guy, JP. He leads the way on a really great service department. I've leaned on them before, and they've been super, super helpful to me. And I'll tell you what, they're great to rely on. And like he talked about, he wants to get you out and back out there camping. So we definitely encourage you to go check out, see what everybody's saying about it, because you'll find the vast majority of people are really, 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 really pleased with the work that the folks do at Hilltop Camper and RV. And you mentioned a huge place too, a lot of service base that can really help you out. So thanks for joining us here. This was a fun Q&A. We'll do it again next time. We'll get more questions from you. We appreciate those that did submit questions. We'll do this again. And if you like what's going on, please like, subscribe, follow us. Let us know what you want to hear more about, because this is all about Minnesota camping for Minnesota campers. And if you want to go pick up a camper, now might be a great time to do it. We did just extend the show prices from last week's Northwest Sports Show going through this weekend. Of course, by law, we're closed on Sunday. So that means through Saturday business. And so if you want to pick up some of those great deals, you can. I mentioned that 170 B8's $13,995. It's an 8-foot wide, just over 21 feet. It's a bunkhouse. I have something very similar for it. My family of 4. It would be great for your family of 4. Up to 5 or maybe even 6 could squeeze in there as well to sleep. And it's towable by a lot of SUVs as well. Also have the 170 FQ. That's similar size, similar look, everything about a similar exception, no bunk beds. So it's great for couples or something like that. So we're able to now get into that lower price point that you see at other places. This is $13,995 for brand new camper. But here's the difference is there's several differences. You're going to get a quality camper built by Jayco, 2-year limited warranty, still the best warranty in the business, on-demand hot water in that thing. You still got the Magnum Truss roof, strongest roof in the industry. These kind of things with the quality. Plus, if you get it at Hilltop, you're going to get it inspected, detailed, demonstrated to you, filled with fresh propane, new battery, all at no additional fee. So and that's really important when you go shopping for a camper. You want to know exactly what that price is going to be. Sometimes it can look really good. That 13,995 looks really good until they add $4,000 worth of fees. That's not going to happen in Hilltop Camper and RV. Tax, title, license, and what's the other one? Tax, title, license, and dock. That's it. So no fees for all that extra work that they're putting on top to make sure that you've got a great camper when it's going out. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.